Well, welcome to another Blinded by Spice. We're back at the Appalachian Bourbon Society. Thank you, Daniel, for having us.
Anytime.
And thank you, Jamie. Jamie's off camera there, who's helped set us up and has done our blind pour tonight. Thank you, Jamie. So, tonight's going to be a little different. We know that Jamie in particular likes a good maple finished bourbon. In fact, she likes that Knob Creek, which is actually kind of infused bourbon. But I thought, what a great, because if we have to have a tiebreaker again, I know which one's going to get picked by Jamie. I just know it. But we've got 4 maple finished bourbons, and it's all a little different. So starting on my right here is the Company Distilling. This is a company started by Jeff Arnett, who used to be the master distiller at Jack Daniels. In fact, not that long ago. We started his own company, and one of his products is a straight bourbon whiskey finished in maple wood. So not maple syrup barrels, but it uses maple wood, so you get that maple flavor coming across. And it is 90 proof. And what is on your side there, Daniel?
So this one is the Short Barrel Sap Squatch. It is 110.2 proof, and this is from Short Barrel, which is a local one to us here in Georgia.
And what's it finished in?
So I'm sorry, maple syrup barrels and toasted barrels.
So you got 2 finishes there.
And the toast.
Maple syrup. And what the deal is, they buy these ex-maple syrup barrels. They dry them out, and then they store their bourbon in it for a certain amount of time to get that finish, whatever they're desiring. And it puts, a certain amount of flavor without adding it to it. Just like any finished bourbon would be in a barrel. It just happens to be that this is a ex-maple syrup barrel.
And toasted barrel. And
toasted. Our other choice tonight is from Starlight Distillery. And that's up north someplace, as I remember it. And their bourbon whiskey, it's a single barrel, is finished in maple syrup barrels. This was selected by the Bourbon Enthusiast. I forget where actually I bought this from, but it's a 4-year age-stated bourbon, and it's 108.5 proof. And what next Daniel has is one of my favorites.
Yeah, so this is the Widow Jane Decadence. This one here comes in at 91 proof, but it's a blend of straight bourbon whiskey finished in maple syrup barrels.
And that's finished in Crown Maple Barrels, which is a premium maple syrup company out of New York. And if you're a Costco fan, believe it or not, Costco sells the Crown Maple Syrup. And my wife bought that the other day, and it's the best maple syrup I swear I've ever tasted. And they finished their 10-year bourbon in those ex-Crown maple syrup barrels, and it's what got me into finished bourbon.
So this is 10-year bourbon as well?
It's their 10-year.
Okay.
If you ever see the Widow Jane 10-year, they take that 10-year and then they finish it in those Crown maple syrup barrels. So you're still getting a 10-year bourbon. And that's, to me, was part of the magic. You're getting a 10-year bourbon, and then you're getting that extra finish.
That maple finish.
It's one of my favorite finished bourbons of all time. We'll see how well it does. I rarely put it in the blind. Why? Because I don't want it to be last. That's why.
Find out shortly.
So, what's your experience with any of these, Daniel?
I've not had any of these.
Zero. That's why he's the perfect balance to me, because I'm going to be leaning towards that Widow Jane. I'm going to be able to pick it up. Where he might go for the sweeter, he might go for the more maple, or he might go for the more bourbon, especially that 10-year, right?
Yeah, that 10-year.
So we're going to take these
different than the other ones
off the bar top. Jamie has poured our samples here. And we don't know which one is which. But somewhere there's a cheat sheet, I believe, that's going to tell us at the end of it. So same rules as we did last time. Daniel, we start left to right. It doesn't matter. Uh, Talk about what you're experiencing, and then fourth, third, second, first, push them out when you figure out which one's least favorite. And at the end, we'll see if we agree or not. How about that?
And I'll try not to knock over a glass this time.
That was, yeah, I did leave that in last time. I said, well, damn it, why didn't you cut that out? Because it was funny.
Yeah, it happens.
It happens. So, Daniel, there again, you're the host. Left or right? Where do we start?
Let's start on the left. We'll work to the
All right. Well, I'm definitely picking up the maple in that one.
There's some maple.
Yeah, that's pretty strong. But I'm picking up traditional bourbon notes
some
too.
Brown sugar, some caramel maybe.
And I'm also, for me, a little bit of vanilla.
Yeah, there's some vanilla in there.
Not a whole lot of spice. No rye spice. But a lot of times maple syrup can mask. It's kind of like our honey finish.
Yeah.
It kind of masks other things. But it is a good smelling.
It smells good.
Bourbon.
Yeah.
Cheers,
Cheers.
buddy. Wow.
That's pretty good.
That is pretty good. I don't remember which one it is. That is pretty good. I mean, maple comes across, but I get really a ton of bourbon.
Yeah.
The maple's not masking the bourbon. The bourbon really comes through.
Yeah, the bourbons comes through on there. Not a lot of the maple on the palate. It's there, but not overly done or anything.
That's good.
Oh, it's delicious.
I'm thinking this is not one of the sweeter ones. We have two ones that's on the non-sweet side and two that's on the sweet side, and a fair amount of difference apart because I've tasted all four of them. I'm thinking this is on more of the bourbon side of it. That's delicious.
That is. It's a good pour, whichever one it is.
Wow.
But we'll see how it stands up against the rest.
I might have to get backups of all four now. I have backups of I only have backups of the Widow Jane Decadence. Isn't that a shame? I may have to change my mind after this. So let's go.
On to the next one.
Second glass in.
Now for me, it's a little less maple on the nose.
I would tell you exactly. That's what I'm thinking.
It's there, but it's not nearly as prominent. Again, getting the caramel, vanilla.
And I'm getting a little bit of rye spice on this one that I wasn't on the other. And it may be because the maple's not as prominent, but
Yeah.
I can pick up a little rye in
It's
this one.
letting that come through a little more.
Well, cheers.
Cheers.
That's definitely less mapley.
Yeah.
To me, it's
That's a little thinner on the palate than the first one as well.
definitely the mouthfeel isn't
Nowhere
near as
the other-
good
yeah.
as that first one. I mean, it's still good, but this is to me is more like bourbon with a hint of maple than it is. It's not prominent. The maple was more prominent in the first one for
Yeah.
me. Was it for you?
Yeah, the maple was definitely more prominent in the first one. That one is a lot thinner, lot shorter finish. Well, I don't know, maybe not shorter finish, but it's just not as viscous as the first one, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Right now, the finish for me on number two was gone, and I was tasting that finish until I tasted this one, and it got washed away.
Yeah.
So I would agree that this is definitely a thinner profile. To me, actually, the proof was a little better on this one. This, to me, tastes thinner, milder, and maybe a lower proof. But
I would agree with that.
a watery version of that, if you ask me.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot thinner on the palate. It doesn't coat the palate
That's,
nearly as
to
well
me,
as the first.
that one was definitely
That
still
first one's
top.
going to be hard to beat, I think.
that first one's going to be hard to beat. Going to
Ready for the
number
next one?
3, left to right. Well, this one is completely different.
I think I know which one this is, and I hadn't even So that's all maple wood. Is that what you're getting?
Yeah, because one of them's finished in maple wood, not maple syrup barrels or staves. It uses maple wood as part of its finishing.
Yeah.
And that's like
that's
right out of that's right out of wood shop. Isn't
yeah,
it?
that's very, very prominent.
That's right out of wood shop. You guys remember wood shop? They don't let you do that anymore because too many people were cutting off their fingers. But yeah,
I honestly don't get a lot on the nose other than the maple. I mean, I'm trying to pick up something else, and
very woody.
yeah, it's very, very woody. There's not a lot there other than the maple.
Well, cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, and that maple wood comes right across, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'm thinking that this is that the
maple
company
wood, yeah, the company one.
company.
That's what I'm thinking, but we could both be totally wrong.
It's not as sweet as either of these two. I mean, it's got a. I'm not saying it's bad, not at all. It's very unique.
It's unique,
and it's something that I would enjoy having on my bar, but it's completely different from I think anything I've ever tasted.
Tastes a little bitter compared to the other two.
Yeah, I would agree. But that aroma translates to the palate.
Yeah,
you get that
exactly what you smell is what you taste on that one. And
hey, cut me off a piece of maple wood there. I want to chew it for a while. I'm chewing on maple wood here is what it reminds me of. But like I said, it's different, and if you wanted something different,
yeah,
this might be it.
That might be it if that's what you're looking for.
It's definitely different. Wow. I don't know.
Anything out of that really, other than maple, though? Honestly, I mean, there's not much there other than the maple. It's kind of a one note.
It's kind of like 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, so far.
Although this is like a big difference. These two are entirely different, but I couldn't tell you which one. I have to go back to them. Which one I like the least, because that's unique.
Well, you
but
got
it's
one more to go still, so
it's going to be hard to beat number 1. Let's try though. And yet another aroma. Is this like any of the other 3?
No, it's different as well. Not as much maple on this one.
I'm having a hard time getting anything off this one. Are you having a hard time picking up the maple?
Yeah, I don't get the maple at all on this one.
Well, if that's the maple wood, this has got to be maple something. We're running out of maple syrup barrels to try.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm not getting any hint of the maple on the nose.
I'm getting
it's more of a typical bourbon, brown sugar, vanilla.
And for me, it's more like a whiskey than a bourbon because I'm not picking up that molasses brown sugar, that richness. It's more of a lighter sweetness for me.
Yeah.
And more citrusy.
Yeah, there's definitely, now that you said that, I get that.
More citrus to it.
Yeah.
Whereas those dark fruits that we like in the bourbon. Wow. Cheers, buddy. I'm having a hard time finding the maple in that one.
Yeah, no maple on that one either. Not to me, anyway.
Now, if that's the Widow Jane, I'll never live this down. You realize that?
Yeah.
I will never live this down.
One more sip of that one. Again, that one feels thin on the palate as well. Kind of similar to the other one.
I don't remember that one at all.
And there's
Daniel, I have no idea.
There's not much of a finish on that one either.
Are we sure that Jamie didn't pull a fast one on us?
Yeah, she done poured us something different.
she's over there laughing right now. You can't see her, but she's over there laughing, like nodding her head. Wow.
Right, you ready to rank yours, or are you going through it for another sip?
Well, I'm going to tell you that this one, that last one is dead last. I don't know what the what the issue with it was, but there was nothing in there I enjoyed. At least with the maple, I thought it was unique.
It's unique, but I thought it had I don't know. Let's try one more time. Side by side.
God, this is like, I'm in wood shop. It's very nutty too.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with what I have.
Okay, it's funny. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 exactly for me. I drew a line in the sand. Don't cross it. So the only difference is the maple,
Third and fourth.
the maple wood, the wood shop bourbon, we'll call it, was your last.
Yeah.
To
I just
me,
didn't enjoy that one, to be honest.
I thought it was kind of interesting, but the last one, I had a hard time figuring out
There's
what
no
it was.
Yeah, there's no maple there, but I enjoyed the flavor profile of it more than just the straight maple wood.
Now, I will tell you this. I'll make you this promise. Whatever comes in number 1, if it's not my Widow Jane, I will buy a bottle of it and share it with you. How about that?
Sounds good.
Or I may just give it to you when this show's over.
You ain't got to do that, Mike.
But, well, see, I've got extra Widow Jane, so I ain't got nothing to lose here.
I've got a Widow Jane over there, but I just haven't cracked it
Yeah,
yet.
well, no.
You got here before I opened it.
Oh, well, okay.
Ready for the reveal?
Yeah, you go. What is your fourth place?
Fourth place?
There's glass number 3 there.
So that is H, and on my sheet, H is the Starlight.
Ooh.
Wow.
Now, I remember the Starlight being, because it's been a long time since I've tasted it, as being something I compared it against way back in the day. I don't know what I put it against, whether it was Widow Jane or something else, and it lost.
Right.
And I just put it away going like, and I haven't tasted it since. That's why it completely threw me that was.
I thought for sure, though, that was going to be the maple wood, not the Starlight.
No, it threw me. The Starlight is the one that tasted like wood shop.
Yeah, that was wood shop all day long.
So the Starlight was my last place was the company distilling. This one. And I remember liking it.
Did you?
But tonight I didn't like it. Then I'm comparing it against other ones that are better.
That's the beauty of doing it in a blind.
But I remember actually liking it and saying good things about it. So if I didn't drink it with any other influence, then I got nothing to compare it to,
Right.
and I actually liked it. But tonight,
No, I could sit down and have a glass of it. I mean,
I just wouldn't ask for a second. Like, waiter, can you bring me something else this time?
I'm trying to be nice and positive over here, Mike.
You haven't watched my channel, have you? So,
All right, so that leaves the first and second place.
So,
want to see the second place, which ours are the same. So, second place, Mike, for me, and yours is the same, right?
yep.
I hate to tell you, but that's the Widow Jane.
You know, I thought it might not come in first because I've tasted that Sapsquatch, and that Sapsquatch is good juice.
Yeah, so that means we both put the short barrel Sapsquatch in first place.
Ahead of the Widow Jane Decadence. Now, there's a lot of difference between these two. I mean,
Certainly.
If you were looking for something that had a lot of maple profile, a little sweeter, this would be your choice. If you wanted something that's really pulled back on it, is more of a hint, then this is your guy. And of course, this is a 10-year, and this is probably it's not age stated.
Age stated. That's what I was looking at.
So it's probably a 4-year then.
Yeah.
So
Short Barrel's doing some good things, though. They really are.
Yeah.
In their finished stuff.
And that combination of maple and toasted, I think, what did it for me when I tried it at Short Barrel, going like, man, this is some good stuff. And went right out into the gift shop there and bought it before I left. Yeah, I was.
I'm definitely going to pick up a bottle of that. That's very good.
Yeah. And I will tell you that we did a 2-minute review of that. So contact Short Barrel if you're having a hard time finding it. Maybe they have a solution for you. I do know that Rome Liquors in Rome, Georgia has bought a barrel of it, and they have it over there. Or you can go Monday through Friday. You can go up to Short Barrel in Norcross, and you can buy a bottle of it there.
Now that one at the Rome Liquor Store, is that going to be a store pick?
It was a store pick.
Okay.
In fact, this one here is the Kenny's.
Okay.
Well, one that they had, but they also, I think at the same time, they had, if you go to
Short Barrel,
there'll be 2 versions, the Kenny's version and the Rome Liquor version. So definitely, this Short Barrel Sapsquatch is a definite buy. You can't keep this one, but I'll find you another one.
I would say the Widow Jane's a buy as well.
Yeah. Oh, I'm still a fan of the Widow Jane. They're really. I mean, it's like Coke and Pepsi.
Yeah. It depends on your palate.
One's a little sweeter than the other one. One's got a little different flavor. To me, this is Coke. This is Pepsi. Pepsi's always sweeter.
Pepsi's always sweeter. That's true. Yeah.
All right. Well, we appreciate coming along with us on our journey through our blinds at the Appalachian Bourbon Society. We hope you will like, comment, and share. And please share this video and think about becoming a channel member. That helps support us so we can do more stuff like this with Daniel and Jamie. Thank you again, Jamie, for pouring our blind tonight. And as always, please drink responsibly, never drink and drive, and we'll see you next time on Blinded by Spice. Cheers, Daniel.
Cheers, Mike.
Where's your glass?
I got one.
It's empty.
It's got a little in it.
Cheers.
Cheers, everyone.
Oh, that's our cheat sheet.
Yeah.
I didn't look at it. I swear I didn't look at it.
You didn't look at it long enough to read it.